Hey, it's the podcast guy.
Sutton United talked on podcast. It's the Sutton Podcast.
And there it is! Sutton United at the GM Vauxhall Conference have put out First Division Coventry City, winners of the FA Cup themselves less than 2 years ago. And what a moment to enjoy for the fans of this Surrey side. They've had their moments before, but never one like this. But the whistle goes down. Delight for Sutton United. Sutton United, the National League, are through to the last 16 of the FA Cup. No longer English football's perennial non-league club. A 123-year crescendo reaches a new peak for Sutton United, who are promoted to the Football League for the first time.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Sutton United Talk Time on Podcast. It's the Sutton Podcast. I'm your host Mike, and joining to me today is our captain Craig Eastmond. We're getting Craig's thoughts on the season that's just gone, amongst some other questions or whatever waffle comes into my head. Don't forget you can help with support the podcast with one-off donations or regular subscriptions by joining us on Patreon. If you want to know more, look for the support us page on the website, which is www.suttonpodcast.com, or drop me a message via email or any of the socials at Sutton Podcast. Thanks to everyone who's been supporting so far and those who still do. Right, all that done. Let's get to it. Craig, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Yourself?
Very well, thank you. And just spoke to you just beforehand, but let people know how's the knee injury?
Yeah, no, knee injuries coming on very well, to be honest. Last game of the season, I did a bit of running. I weren't meant to, but I thought let's push myself so I know I can have a good holiday and have a little break for a little bit. But yes, it's coming on very well.
Very well done. But firstly, congratulations on the Player of the Year awards. At least you couldn't lose my one.
Yeah. No, literally. No, it's good. It's good to be appointed that award. I know I've won it before, but you always try to keep maintaining the award. It's like most things. When you get something, you always want to keep. You always want to try and keep it, and for every season as long as you can. Yeah, it's good to get that award again.
Yeah, I mean, I must admit, I was actually delighted when I saw your face, and it wasn't that you sent H to do the interview for you.
Yeah, no, I always do that with Harry. Me and Harry always have that little banter partnership when it's time for me to speak. I know he's got in the back of his mind, yeah, Craig's gonna swerve it my way, and then sometimes I do. But yeah, it was good to throw it his way and let him have a little speak.
Right, so before we just get into the season that's just gone, I wanted to have just a quick chat about your time with us so far. And sort of looking back, it was like, oh God, I'd forgotten about that. I'd forgotten about that. So it was only sort of September 2015, which is only sort of 7.5 years ago. But
Yeah,
it seems like you've been with us for such a long time. That's the season we had the amazing run where we pulled back Ebbsfleet to
yeah,
win the title. So you started off well. What do you kind of remember about that season or that run or
yeah.
anything at all?
Yeah, I think it was 26 games unbeaten. I think it was. Yeah. So obviously we knew. Well, no, we didn't know. Edsfleet, they was ahead by so many points, and obviously we just obviously do what we normally do, just tick a game off as it comes. And then once you get that run going, like 5 games going, you're thinking like, yeah, we can help maybe do something here now. And we just stuck to our guns, and we all just played every game as it comes, 110%, every final. And then when it got down to the bit end, where we knew if we beat them, we can obviously go up and carry on. And obviously we still had that unbeaten run going. And obviously sometimes it weren't always, all of them weren't wins. It was draws and that as well. So, but you always take the a point on the road, shall I say, and just keep on going. And that's what we was doing, literally. Said just once we beat them, we knew exactly we're in a great position, and we knew we were gonna be champions, and that's what we did.
So did you guys know? Did you hear about the whole Las Vegas thing, or was that not known in the dressing room? Because we all knew it.
Yeah, no, we heard about that. that they already pre-booked um, to go Vegas. Because I can't remember exact points they were. I think it was like 15 or 20 points clear.
They were
And obviously,
way
yeah,
gone.
exactly. And obviously that's probably when they booked it. And obviously we just said, okay, we we just keep going. We should be the party poopers, and that's what we always try to do. We just go and do what we can and upset other teams. Back then, obviously, that's when they score us a little old Sutton. So,
Hmm.
and obviously we still are that, but we're just progressing eventually. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
yeah, we just had to make sure they know little old Sutton's coming through here and messing up your party, and that's what we did.
Well, you mentioned that the that unbeaten run. It went into the next season. I didn't quite sort of get this, but people going, "Oh yeah, they could go for the longest run in history," and I was like, "But we're up. We're not in the division." But they'll say, "No, it counts in the National League." And then we played. I think it was Solihull Moors, and they absolutely battered us on the first day of the new season.
Yeah.
And it was that point. It was like, "Oh, there's a bit of a
Okay.
step up."
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Nah, it was good, man.
yeah, we were due a nice little quiet season, and had a cup run instead of a league run.
Hmm.
How I mean, there was a lot of media attention during that
Yeah.
cup run. When did you guys kind of know that this is something special is happening here that we in the cup?
Um. Yeah, because obviously it did play a big part in our league because we couldn't find a way from home or I think it was the home or something like that. But we kind of knew from what was it? Because we played League Two straight away. We played National League, beat there. Then we did League Two, and we was like, wow, okay.
Yeah, we had
We
that. We had that. I think we had National League, Forest Green.
yeah,
Then we had was it Dagenham in that insane game that was like
yeah,
700, 600 or something stupid. Um, and then we kind of went up through the divisions
yeah.
with
I think when it was the League, say the League Two, obviously it's a
Mhm.
big says step up and all that. We thought, well, okay, oh wow, oh yeah, we've done it. Why can't we obviously try and focus on the league again because this game's gone? And then when we played the League Two, it was like, yeah, here we go. And obviously, it's always the what it's a one game or two, it could be two. Do you know what I mean? And we just thought, why not give it a shot? That's what FA Cups are made for. Everyone to play against big teams. Why can't it be our turn now, kind of thing? And everyone's literally just over the moon at every hurdle we came up to. We just took it on. And
Yeah.
we just had to get a big team at the end of it, and we did.
Well, the Wimbledon one sticks in a lot of people's minds because we got a lot of stick from Wimbledon about our magic carpet,
Hmm.
and then they took us back to their farmers' field to play there. It
Yeah.
was like, what the hell is this? Um, it was just one of those games, and I think I said this to you before: is you put that tackle in, and their fans kind of got on your back about it a little bit.
Yeah.
Reviewed this in minute detail, but it was perfect tackle, and they got on your back a little bit, and that kind of just woke us all up. I remember us all kind of being like, whoa, 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 we're not having that, and we kind of just at that
Hmm.
point was like, right, come on, let's get behind the guys. Um, I didn't move from the spot as everyone was petering out. I was standing there for like 15 minutes, just going, oh, have we really done this? Um, did it feel like a big moment for you? I know we knew who we had in the next round, but did it feel like a big moment at that point when we beat Wimbledon?
Yeah. I'll say even I know we could have maybe won at our place, but for when they took us back and we knew it's going to be a big one, local, all the fans there, we knew exactly what we got to be. And like I always say, I'm not a person to talk or do whatever. I always do my stuff on the field. And then, like you said, from the tackle, I knew exactly we're not here just to be here to make up numbers. We're always here to show what we can do. Obviously, in myself, I always show pride in whatever we're doing. If we're losing still 1-0, whatever, I'm still doing stuff for myself. And we knew each and every player there, like literally from the celebrations, it just says it all.
Mm.
Like how much it meant to each player getting into the next round. For the fans that was there, and the fans that literally just it just meant a lot because obviously where it's local and everyone's talking about obviously we can't do it away from home
Hmm.
and on should I say 3G plastic pitch like we proved that we can. Do you know what I mean? And that was just a big moment, even a bigger one because you're in the next round and you played against a local team. So
Yeah,
it just meant so much.
yeah. And then it was all back to the bar.
Hmm.
Then,
Yeah,
then
that was yeah,
it's a bit blurry after that for a lot of people.
correct.
And then we had Leeds, and they kind of turned up, and I don't know whether it was they thought they bought into the little old Sutton, or they were just disrespectful. Or I did read one thing recently where they felt the manager was making a point, but it wasn't exactly uh, a celebrity-laden team. It was a lot of their young uns that was in the side. Did you guys, was that in your mind, or did you not care who was in front of you? Just play for the
um,
team.
we just no. To be fair, we obviously because I think they had a big game next, and we was like obviously talking between us like players and that. I don't know if they're gonna play actually their strong team. It'll be good to play against their strong team, but if they play the young team, then they're gonna be in for an upset because we know what we can do when we're together, when we're at it. We knew like, oh, okay, what was going on? So obviously we had like two minds. Oh, it'd be good against their strong team, get playing against Leeds, history, and if we'd played the young teams, a lot of young teams, I say, or reserve team, they haven't really tasted first team football. So we knew exactly if they play their reserve team who hasn't played much, it might be in a battle, but then it might go the other way as well because they need to prove to the manager why they're not playing.
Mm-hmm.
And where we played week in week out, we already got the fitness and plays people that ain't played week in week out. It's gonna take a while, and then where we're always on the front foot from the get go, literally we just knew. And then when we saw the team sheet, we just thought, all right, here we go, roll the sleeves up, boom.
Nice. And then it kind of had to. I mean, you mentioned the history of Leeds. Um, were you guys aware of any of that? Because obviously, what was really bizarre, speaking to Dave F, and he said there was several people in the boardroom against the Leeds match, and as he was looking around, he was like, they were fans on the original Leeds match from
Hmm.
decades back. So had you guys been told about that, or
Yeah, we got
was it?
told because obviously like the media and all that was
Mhm.
happening, and then everyone's the build up to the game. So everyone's all like, what do you mean Leeds?" And so I was like, "What?" So I was surprised, but and then people were showing photos and obviously the history of it. So we was like, "Oh, okay," and then that's what I said, like another history. They played against each other again, and obviously Sutton won, so it was good. But yeah, a lot of people from the build up was like, "Oh, Sutton Leeds back in the day." I was like, "When? When?" Like just, in my time,
Yeah.
obviously, I was like, oh, "Okay, whoa, I wasn't even born then." But yeah, no, from the build ups and that, everyone was talking about it.
Uh, you mentioned the media because then it went just a tiny bit crazy. We drew thanks Robbie Savage. We drew Arsenal out of the hat.
Hmm. Yep.
Kind of had to be because we had obviously yourself, with Rory, with a couple other Arsenal connections in the squad at least. Um, what what was that like for you? I know you had to do loads of interviews because
Yeah, no, to be
you.
fair, it was good, but it weren't a thing where I needed to prove myself to
Mhm,
Arsenal fans or stuff like that. Obviously, my time was up there. I just had to go out there just to prove that obviously I can still play at a level, still try and not point to prove, but go out there and enjoy it, and I'm still enjoying it.
mhm,
Things people always move on for other clubs, and obviously where I was there from a long period of time. And that's exactly what I did. I just went out there, just enjoyed myself, playing against people that I played with. A gaffer who's my manager. Even the assistant manager Steve Bold, he was my academy under 18s manager, so it was good to see him. Kitman was
mhm,
still there. So there's like obviously it was good. It weren't like one where I was like, oh my god, I'm playing against Arsenal, blah blah blah, like shocked. It was like something I just go, okay, I started my career there. I'm gonna show it I can still carry on playing and I'm enjoying it. So it weren't a thing where I need to go out there just to prove or try and overcomplicate things. I just went out there just to play my normal game against people I played with.
yeah. I mean, that's an important thing, but the 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 enjoying the football because it did kind of the story around that Doz put around that when you came to us, you were kind of like yeah, I've had enough of this already.
Hmm.
Not Sutton, just football.
Yeah,
You'd gone, I think, to Colchester and Yeovil or the other way round. I can't remember
yeah,
which
you're
one.
at the end of
Um,
it. Yeah,
yeah, and you just weren't enjoying things, and you just, I think it was Jamie Lawrence, was it?
yeah. Chamber
Yeah,
Lawrence who got me back on the narrow.
yeah. So was that just a Doz story, or was that kind of like you were like, yeah, this is, I just want to enjoy myself.
No, it wasn't like a Dodge story. It was like a bit of it, I'll say, because I'll quickly get through it. Obviously, I was at Colchester, then obviously left the end, went to Yeovil, and then the manager got sacked, so that brought me in quickly. And then obviously I was there. New manager came in and said, "If I ain't got a contract, then you're not gonna be signed next year." I was like, "Okay, fair." So that was done, and then that's where I was just me and Jamie Lawrence just training, and he said, "Look, just keep grinding. Obviously, you'll get where you want to be, or even nearby." So the season started. I still ain't got no club, so I'm thinking, okay, this is a bit weird now. Training with him until actually I signed with Sutton, and he said, "Look, I've got a club here. We carry on doing our gym early training at 5:30 in the morning till lunchtime. That's between gym and obviously training with him like football work." And he said, "Look, I'll get you a club in somewhere, like just so you can train with someone because obviously one to one's completely different to training with a group." So he said, "All right, cool." And then he said, "Oh, there's something down the road if you want to go down." I said, "Yeah, I'll train with them, and obviously just to get a thing, and then I can go, go and try out at a club." He said, "Okay, cool." And then as soon as I trained there, Doswell said that, "Well, I can see you're still hungry and you want it. Here's a contract." I was like, "Oh, okay, that's nice." In my head, I'm thinking, I can't say no. I could say no, but obviously I was thinking, I don't really want to be here. I want to be somewhere higher up.
Mhm.
And obviously from there, he said, like, I see you're hungry, blah, blah, blah. And you want to get back to that level. Why don't we sign you, and then you can play against teams, and that way the other teams can see you, and then you can move on eventually. Blah, blah, blah. So I was like, yeah, that sounds like good. James said, look, just keep doing what you're doing. You'll get back up into the league with something or by your own movements and stuff like that. That's how football works. And I said, yeah, let's go. And I just put pen to paper, and then from there, I'm still here now.
I was just, as you said that, I was just probably thinking that Doz was probably thinking, oh, I'll get some money out of this. We'll get him on a contract and sell him for someone in a couple of months. But yeah, so back into the sort of National League, I think we got third a couple of years later. We got to playoffs. We never do anything in the playoffs, so it's all right. And then Doz decided that's it.
Hmm.
Called it a day, and I got my wrist slap for this from Bruce, where I said we made a nice easy choice and put Matt in charge. And
Okay.
Bruce was
Wow.
nearly killed me. But what was the sort of feeling in the first few months with Matt? Because obviously he did struggle. Or the
Hmm.
results. Hang on, the results didn't come his way. Let's say it that way
Yeah.
around. He says it himself. He even asked Bruce himself, "How close was it?" And Bruce was like, "It was never ever close." But how was it in the sort of in the squad, in the team, with Matt's sort of first few months?
It was all right to be honest. Changed, obviously tweaked a little couple of things, but when Dawes was still in charge, Matt was obviously coming in on coaching underneath, so hopefully he kind of knew the players. So when he went into the gaffer role, it was obviously not a shock to people because he was already taking the sessions, adding little bits in, but obviously Doswell was still the manager. So obviously when Matt took over to be approached and be gaffer, obviously he did his own now. It's his turn to do his own work and his own philosophy, but you can't just change it just like that because
Mhm.
where people was just with one manager just like that, you can't change. But we just weren't getting the rub of the green. We had was the star. We had the same players. Obviously, he added. Do you know what I mean? As obviously people do, but it weren't like we was getting battered 6-0s and stuff like that. No one's really putting it there. He was just basically frustrated for each player, and obviously I can be frustrated for a manager, first manager job. Do you know what I mean? And it was very hard for him to see how it was going. But yeah, he was. I just took to him straight away, to be honest.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I've spoken to him a couple of times, and the very first time I spoke to him, I kind of ended the thing, and I just went to my missus. I'm ready to give him 20 minutes. If he told me to go on the pitch, I'll be like, okay, I'll do it. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll do it.
I'll do it. I'll just run around for him. Yeah, no,
Um,
literally.
But I mean, that kind of tells me, because I think it's insane. He's something like the 7th longest serving Football League manager,
Mhm.
and he's only like 4 years or something with us. So it's like, that's insane. Clubs should give people a chance, because look what happens.
Yep.
But anyway, so we go into the COVID season. Probably it was, I mean, obviously it was obviously weird playing, but for us it was probably easier because we're not the noisiest of home crowds. And you guys obviously playing without crowds must have been a bit weird, but what was it? Did you know you were going to be doing so well? Did you have that sort of Ebbsfleet feeling that we were hunting it down, or was it a bit trickier?
At first it was weird, I should say, especially away from home, because obviously their fans are obviously some of them have their numbers, shall I say. But it was just weird walking out and no one's clapping you out, or you score a goal, no one can celebrate. But then we got to a point where we just, all right, it is what it is. Can't change it. Just stick to what we normally do. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a proper actual training game, and because you have to get to them surroundings straight away, get used to it, or get big crowds or no crowds. And I think we just took it literally how it is. I don't even know how it was, because it was weird. Because even now, thinking of it now, it's just like walking into your house and no one's there. You know what I mean? No one's there.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just took onto it very, very quickly, and it helped.
It was weird from our side as well, because we're watching you all on little devices,
Yeah.
and we're like, this isn't something.
Nah.
I can see the stadium from my window. I can look out the window and see you guys. I've watched a few games from the balcony because I was like, no, at least I can see the stadium.
I can see a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it was just a whole weird moment. And obviously we all got in there for that Hartlepool match.
Yeah, that had
which
to be.
was odd. I knew it was on BT Sports. I knew it was the first kind of big thing after COVID, but it was only when Louis scored with his great big long legs sticking out from a corner, that second goal, that people suddenly went, hang on a minute, we've just done this.
Yeah.
And then again, everyone had kind of livened everyone up. What was that like to know you'd won the National League title and you were heading back to league football?
Well, we kind of knew before Louis shanked it wide. Louis shot was going wide, but he's claiming it was a target. But yeah, no, I think we knew when it was 2-0, to be fair, because when it was 1-0, it was like, all right, obviously, yeah, this could be it. Everyone's, you know, like when you look into players' eyes and you're playing still, you've got to look at the time. No, still, you never know, because we knew exactly even before the game, we just knew exactly if we win, it's done. But obviously, in the build up towards it, I was fire literally, and then one of the BT people was like, "Oh, you know, if you win today, you win the league." I was like, "Yeah, no, I gathered that because they messed up yesterday." And she's like, "Oh, okay, cool." So obviously, I felt normal, but then when we got into the changing room, it was completely different. Everyone's like, "Whoa, this could be the day." Not like nerves or big head and stuff like that. It's just like, right, it's work time now. This is work. Like, here we go. We can just finish it now, done and dusted. But yeah, it was. I think from the second goal, because obviously 1-0 still not.
Yeah. And
then 2-0. There's something. I think it's about 15 or 10 minutes, and then Louis scored. I was like, yeah, it's just done now. So here we go. I'm on cloud 9 now. Yeah, but I'm just thinking of lifting the trophy, and now I'm thinking, nah, it can't be right now. I can't be lifting that soon. So I was just looking around at everyone, thinking, yeah, this is it. Look at this. And it was good to obviously do it in front of the fans, because it would have been very weird not doing it without the fans there. So obviously lifting it, but it was a good moment. But yeah, like I said, Louis put the icing on the cake when he was going to kick it wide.
Did you hurry to get your speech ready? Because
yeah, no. To be fair, after in the changing room, as soon as we walked back in, everyone's like Easty speech in it, and obviously I was looking around. And I've just gone, what are we? And everyone chat, and then obviously we everyone started chatting. So that's why I said that's it.
That's your speech.
That's it. That's my speech. I was going to say more, but obviously everyone started charting, blah blah blah, getting sprayed and all that. But yeah, it was a man. Yeah, it was a mad speaking, literally.
Lovely. And then last year we stepped up, or the year before now, stepped up to League Two football. Were you? I don't know how to frame this. Were you kind of aware of how much you then personally stepped up as well? Because everyone was like, "Christ, he's always been good, but he's kind of just stepped up another level." Were you aware you were doing it, or were you just
No.
being Easty?
Yeah, like you saying, just be me. Obviously, Gaffer did speak to me about a bit of discipline. Obviously, if I'm not there, it's hard. He wants me to try and calm my discipline. But I say, Gaffer, like sometimes I can't help. Obviously, just guiding too hard or whatnot. But he just said that it's just like the little fouls. I was like, fair enough. I understand. So I kind of was listening a little bit, but at the end of the day, when you're on the field, just grinding out, working hard, running around, sometimes things just go the other way. But yeah, Gaffer did speak to me before the season and said, I need you on the field. Obviously, if it is a yellow card or thing, I need you to calm down on the ones because eventually it's going to tally up and then you're going to start missing games when we can't afford to have you missing games. But it was a good thing he said that because I didn't really miss much during that.
But we almost made the playoffs.
Yeah.
Just that ridiculous. I mean,
frustrated. Yeah, I know. Still this day now, still frustrated. But
going through all the different videos games, and it's like the Bristol Rovers one where it was cleared from behind the line, and if
Bradford,
in,
the Bradford one.
Have we forgiven Lee Angle for that? But anyway, and you got what must be, despite the day, must be a personal highlight of getting to lead your team out and score at Wembley. Trying to put away the devastation for later, but how was the sort of day, the build up, the whole experience at Wembley?
Wow, one of my dream basically, from a kid, play at Wembley. Didn't care who it was for or whatnot, or if it's a charity game. Playing at Wembley is just every kid's dream, literally. And that was one of my dreams. Let alone be a captain and walking out everyone, family there. So literally, family, close friends of friends who come just to support me there. My cousins, who I don't really speak to, literally, there was literally so much family shared around when I was walking around in a warm-up. Because in the warm-up, you're looking for where your families are. So obviously, I knew where my full family was. And then when we was doing a little jog across and stuff like that, I just see a couple. I'm like, oh my God. So yeah, it was good. Personal one, literally, just one of the things I ticked off. And obviously, I want to do it again. And obviously better.
Yeah. I mean, I did say to you last time, the one that didn't go out, have you mentioned many times on the training ground that when you came off, it was 2-1 and they messed it up?
No, obviously, when I came up, so basically, I won the game then, basically.
Basically, it's exactly it.
Yeah, no, it's just obviously, came off, literally, I couldn't even move my legs. Yeah, I've never felt cramp like that before. Obviously, I don't know if it's the whole occasion, how big the pitch is and everything. But yeah, I've did everything I could to try and stay on as long as I can. But yeah, it's just one of the things at football.
Yeah, there's one of the stories. I think their manager and some of their players thought it was going straight to penalties, and
that's what a lot of people said.
Yeah, and we're like, well, if we'd known that, we should have been there. We'll do penalties. That's fine.
Yeah, we'll do penalties. Yeah, choose penalties now.
Flip a coin. We've got a better chance because we kind of all knew the minute that goal went in, it was like, we haven't got the legs for this. We just can't because we're in that terrible zone. But yeah, it was fun. It was a big day, nice tick off for us as well because I think I got to Wembley at 10:30 in the morning.
Okay, wow.
I was a little bit excited, bouncing around.
Yeah, no, that's good, man. That's good. That's how everyone should be done. Excited.
The most I ever paid for a seat, and never sat in it. I was just standing up. Kobe's mum was next to me.
Okay.
And she was sitting there watching the match, and then suddenly they all started getting really excited when we were doing the subs, and I was like, why are you getting so excited? And she was like, oh, that's my son. I was like, who? And she was like, Kobe. And I was like, whoa, I'm filming this.
wow.
And then as they were coming around the end, you could see Kobe looking up like that. And I'm like, she's here. She's in my bright yellow jacket. She's here.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's good, man.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it was sad. But I was glad I sort of went back to the club because I don't normally always do that. But I just thought I can't have the guys walking into an empty clubhouse when we've just lost. And place was packed. It was.
People walk in.
Yeah, it was.
Imagine we had the trophy, bloody hell.
Exactly. Awesome. And I got the intro to my thing with Dumbo walking in going, hey, it's the podcast guy. So
there you go.
Good
lovely. Yeah,
good.
It's all good. It was a good turnout, and obviously, like I said many times, appreciate that. And most teams probably wouldn't even have something like that going on after they lost. Do you know what I mean? And that's how it just says how the club is running, family club, and we will enjoy every moment as it comes.
Excellent, lovely. Right, so season just gone. We spoke in pre-season, and it was an interview that was hailed by everyone who heard it as brilliant. It was only me because it was a corrupted sound file, but it was brilliant.
Yep.
But we were full of hope and expectations. We were kind of hoping to push on to playoff spots. Kind of 20 minutes into the season, Ben's got his injury.
Yeah.
Did you guys know how serious it was at the time and what kind of impact it would have, and the sort of snowball effect of all the injuries that we were having?
Yeah, we didn't know. And to be fair, no one really thought it, but everyone probably just thought, oh, it's nothing major. He should be back within weeks. And then obviously when he said, oh, it is what it is, I was like, oh, geez, okay. And that's always players' frustrating news when they hear how they're out, especially as long as it was bloody first game of the season. So he's worked all hard, get ready for the season, and then back down he goes again. Do you know what I mean? So it's hard for him. And even like from him coming back, literally, that just shows a bit of character and a bit of fight. Well, obviously, every individual has, because like as we're going to speak in a minute about the injuries we've had, bloody hell, people coming back from them quicker than the actual time, and that's a good thing. Do you know what I mean? That means they're putting the work off and behind the grass.
Yeah, I mean, the injuries, they just kept coming. I spoke to Terry Bullivant, and he sort of was saying it's not just injury after injury. Lots of clubs have lots of injuries, but it's long-term injuries in the same positions. I mean, at one stage, I think you were the only midfielder we actually had.
Yeah, I was.
Because we had Adam out on loan at the time, and Harry and Ali both injured. And we were kind of like scrapping for every single point, and not blowing smoke up your backside or anything. You were dragging us through games. Was it noticeable to you? You mentioned about the stepping up. I think you were on a yellow card for about 12 games. At one stage, and we were like, "Oh Christ, is Easter getting booked today? Who's going to play if Easter gets booked?"
No, it's one of the ones where, like I say, I don't really the captain to shout and do everything like that. But I'm in the middle of the field. I've got to let people know. Obviously, I'm always on it, and if I'm the person to lead by example, that's what I try to do every game. Try to lead by example. If someone's not pulling the strings or they're not having a good game, or if I'm not having a good game, I'll rather someone if whoever wants to shout, tell me. I hold my hands up and say yes. Well, you're spot on there. I will try and not do that and say I'll carry on, try and drive on, and I just try and do that every game, literally. And if obviously everyone has a bad game, people know in it, but it's not good shouting at people. That's why I don't do it, because some people can take it, some people can't, innit? And some people might think you're just bullying them during the game, and then obviously the fans can hear. Then the fans are probably thinking, oh, what's going on here? He's conflicting and blah blah blah. So I just try and literally just leave everything out on the field, and then the next day I'm probably knackered or whatever, but as long as it's always worth it if you get the points, do you know what I mean? And that's exactly what we was doing.
Yeah, I mean, we had another terrible injury with John as well.
Yeah,
but we kind of then, I mean, to see him walking around, it just blows my mind. And he was driving as well. He was in his car.
Yeah.
But kind of we struggled through. We got to December.
Yep.
And then we had that one of those golden runs. Again, everything just came together, full of confidence. Is it? You mentioned earlier, sort of 4 or 5 games into these runs, you're like, oh, hang on, we've got something here. Was that noticeable at the time? Do you know that when you're rocking up at the Grand Green Lane that we're going to get the points today?
Yeah, you know, you kind of when you're in that mood, that form, you know, literally no one can stop you when you're on your way. And then when you hit a little hill, can you ride that hill to get over it? Obviously, that's what we did with the injuries. We had that little rocky road, literally, and we got to a point like, okay, once everyone's back, then that's where people are still there. They've been working hard to get back. So when they come back, they're going to be even more hungry. So the people
Mm.
that's playing, you've got to be more hungry as well. So then we all kind of put that together, and we just showed exactly from when we got the run. We was like, okay, here we go. Now this is where we got to go on now. And obviously, when you get 1 win, 2 wins, you're like, okay, here we go. Yes, that now it's all clicking. Then you get the 3, then you get the 4, and then you're like, oh yes, hopefully it can ride out. And obviously it didn't, but it was always a wave. We were trying to ride it as long as we can. Do you know what I mean? And unfortunately, it didn't come to the right way.
Well, when you come out with all the cliches, it felt like new signings when you had Ben back, Ali back, Harry back. Did it have that kind of feeling in the
Yeah,
dressing room as well? Of
yeah,
got
exactly that. Because
some,
obviously they're all big players, and to play with or to come back and know they're available was a big relief to everyone because it gets to a point where you know exactly what they can do as well, and where you wouldn't say they're fresh, 'cause obviously they'll be working hard to get fit, but you know, like, okay, we've got another spot. We are not playing someone else out of position. That's actually his position, and you know
Mhm.
you can do way more than if someone played out of position because they're not comfortable. And
you
yeah,
mean
it
you,
was.
you mean you can give them grief because they should know
Yeah,
what they're doing? Yeah.
yeah. You can give them grief for not listening to you or playing the ball right there where they know I'm not normally in this position. But yeah, no, it's good to have obviously your fluent out and out position players playing who just come
Yeah,
back for injury. 'Cause it gives everyone a boost. Doesn't matter it doesn't matter what it is or whatnot. Even from the bench, you know, if they come on as well. Oh my God, yeah, here we go.
yeah. So, kind of, the peak of the run and the end of the run happened almost the same time. We hit Crawley for free with
Hmm.
Omar's. I don't know. I guess everyone's claiming it's a wonder goal. I don't know. If we just
He meant it. He
obviously,
meant
yeah.
it.
And then we kind of started to struggle. The next 4 games kind of put us out of the picture. We played
Mhm.
Barrow, Grimsby, and Mansfield, and I don't think we had a shot on target.
No,
Um,
we did have a shot for a while, to be fair,
yeah,
and it was
and
frustrating.
then Grimsby should not have been even trying because they had an FA Cup match in a few days' time. So how they came
Yeah.
and beat us, I don't know. And then we had that misfortune at the end of the Walsall game where we should have been winning,
Hmm.
and we ended up with a draw.
Yeah.
Um, did it kind of feel like at the time were they the challenging games, or was there a more challenging game than those?
Uh, with them games, it was like you said, the Grimsby one. They probably everyone at Grimsby probably thought, they got a big game next game. I want to play that game. So they probably
Mm,
left it up even more than obviously what it was. But yeah, it's just one of the ones. It's weird because even when we drew the other game after, like the 2 worldies, they scored. My mistake when obviously I got 2 yellow cards when obviously the second one I slipped into the player and then obviously they scored 2 worldies. What can we do? Do you know what I mean? So there's so many things you can say ifs and buts and whatnot. But yeah, we just weren't getting the luck of the green. I can literally that's the only thing I can say. Uh, they came through the other end at the times and or sometimes things weren't happening for us.
so the same as when we're on one of those good runs, do we have the same feeling of within a couple of minutes of a match just going, this isn't going to be our day here today?
No, you could.
Or,
No, you
or
can't. Never. No,
no, all right.
we just literally, we could try and make, obviously, if it's not working for you, keep it simple. Keep it simple. As long
Mhm.
as we keep it simple, you can't get anything wrong with that. Like, get the ball, play there, or do not try and lunge in when you know you're gonna get booked. If you miss, if you know you can't get the ball, do not lunge in. Just leave it. Just
Yeah.
stand him up, be steady in that, and you just got to ride the wave. And obviously, sometimes if you're not having a shot, we know, like as I said in the interview before, you know you're not having a good game. You know you're not having a bad game. When you're having a bad game, you just got to keep it simple, and just it's just a given just to run around and work your socks off basically.
14th is very respectable. It just feels like we were there knocking on the playoff doors, and then it dropped away from us. So I think in years to come, looking back, 14 will be that's very good. There's 10 teams that would have been quite happy just what we would have placed. Do you think it was just down to luck, or do you think there's anything that we could have done a bit better?
No, to be fair, it's just frustrating, I should say, because you always have targets to beat whatever you done last season. And we was on that, we was literally touching distance from the playoff, and then we just didn't get the run. We didn't get obviously the 4 hard games we had. Was hard, but yeah, it is frustrating for we're not trying to reach our targets, I should say, because obviously we had stay up. Then we said when we was in that run, we can get playoffs here. And then last season, where obviously we just finished there with that point, was like, oh, why can't we get that again? Why not? Why can't we've done it once? Why can't you do it again? It's not luck just to get them points.
No,
exactly. No. So then that's the thing. So it was like a bit hard taken, but we just know now we've got to be that target. We've got to try and get back to that target again. Because no point going. Should be a cop out, should I say? Go finish where we finished last season. We finished on 76 points up there before. Why can't we reach that again? Just we got the players, we got the staff. You know what I mean? So why not?
Okay. Well, we mentioned in that. Here's some tricky questions. I did warn you beforehand, and this is where you can swerve them if you want.
Yep.
So we're recording shortly after we've had the retained list released, and there's quite a few names that people were like, "Whoa." Were any of them as a surprise to you, or did the whole team know, or did you know as captain that some of these players were thinking of going off, or was it just a complete shock, the same as everyone else?
Yeah, no, to be fair, no one really knew exactly what was going on. Sometimes players want to move on, sometimes people don't get contracts, sometimes they might not be able to produce or move forward with where the direction manager's going, maybe. I don't know exactly, but the one thing is no one really knew, and yeah, it is hard because football is what it is, to be fair.
Well, this is it. It's very difficult sometimes as a fan, because you get attached to people and you forget, well, hang on, we are now a professional football club. We can't have a lot of these emotions. We have to be really, really harsh. I mean, who again, happy for you to swerve this, who do you think we will miss on the pitch the most from the ones that have been left, and who do you think will miss around the place? Or you could do either or
miss. I'll go. This is going to be the easiest one. Miss around the place. Luke Gambin. He is a bloody character. He's exactly the same as Kenny Davis, character-wise. Oh my God. What a guy. Comes in, you just know, just say his name, he's laughing, bubbly, literally. Oh, mate. He is hilarious. Yeah, what was the other one? Sorry, that came straight to my mind. That's right.
Yeah, that's right. On the pitch.
Yeah, to be fair, more or less everyone. To be fair, because also when they're on the game, it's literally, you know exactly what you'll get out of them if they're on the game, and you know exactly what you get from them if they're not on the game, and it's just a bit of a heart. I mean, to get that out of them or the person to be at it. It's not from other people to bring it in. You should be the person to bring it out in yourself to say, well, I'm going to show, not turn up and go, oh, I don't fancy it today. Basically, personally.
Yeah. And players coming in, don't say any names if you know them. Do you have any knowledge of who Matt's looking at, or do you have any kind of input of, that guy was definitely worth looking at? No, nothing at all.
No, I haven't got a Scooby.
You'll rock up one day and there'll be people sitting here. Like, hello.
Hello, mate. That's my seat.
And Is it easier if players come in the summer, or is it make no difference? I mean, because obviously January you get a very short window to say hello. This is Lee. He's playing on Saturday. Or is it easier in the summer when you get a chance for a bit of pre-season?
Depends what character they are. If they can handle coming into a new environment straight away, who's lively and bubbly, then obviously I'll say obviously January. But if they're not like that character, quiet and whatnot, and they just similar to me, just work hard and train and field and the games, then I'll say pre-season so you can get to gel so everyone and eventually later on then they can come out of their shell. So it's two different. Depends what character they are really, because there's always some players that's quiet and it takes a while to break into. Because even with other people, that's when they've come. It's hard to go into a new changing room and be the same person who they was in other players, because they don't know how people will take certain things or your body language or whatnot. It's different. So I'll say, yeah, it depends on your character.
Yeah, because I'd say our changing room's quite difficult.
Naughty.
Yeah. So a few questions that were sent to me before we kind of look at the next season very, very quickly. Someone said, not that you don't have a good few years playing left, but have you ever thought about what you're going to do post-playing career?
Oh, that's nice. So, hopefully I have many more. Joking. Yeah, no.
They did say that.
Yeah, coaching to be fair, but I don't know what level. I was going to do my UA for B, but I put my name down on the list and I didn't hear back from them. So I'm guessing obviously it gets taken up that quick for all players, because everyone whoever's with the PFA, whoever's what was it? Whoever, if you want to get on the list, everyone from whoever's on the PFA get a list, and you have to just apply for it straight away. So more or less, yeah, I'll probably go to coaching, but then I don't know where or what. I might just do the badges just so I got something.
How would you coach Craig Eastmond? I don't know. Who was the biggest influence on your playing career so far?
Oh, so far? What, at Sutton or just in general?
Just anywhere you like. Who do you kind of go, yeah, I'm going to make so-and-so proud? It's going to be mum, isn't it?
Yeah, mum. Obviously, yeah. No, I was just thinking, I don't want to miss anyone out. That's the only thing, innit? Mum, family, innit? I'll just say family, but obviously mum's at the top because she comes to the games and checks receipts, stuff like that. Yeah, family, 100%, because family, everything at the end of the day.
Yeah. Do we have much to do with do many of the academy players sort of train with us? Do we see any of the academy boys and think, oh, he's one to look at?
When we not really at the moment, because obviously we're training at Heathrow at the moment, so it's different for them to be there because they got to do the college work. But when we was training near Cheam, then obviously we see the academy, and then some players will come over to us if we need more players and stuff. Do you know what I mean? But now at the moment it's hard.
Is that where you first saw Killian?
Yeah, killing the dragon tongue, him.
Who was the toughest central midfielder you played against this season?
Oof. I don't know, you know. I don't even know, to be honest, because I always give them a right go as well. So, and it's hard to pick out one person.
It's hard to pick out one person, yeah. If you could give your 18-year-old self any advice, what would it be?
Great question, Matt. Great question. When I was 18, what would I tell myself? Don't think life's too easy. Don't think it's easy. You have to put the work in. Keep grinding it out.
And the follow-up, what would 18-year-old Eastie say to you now?
You give it all. What you get on them when you're on the field. Literally, you don't leave anything left behind.
Is there any extra pressure? Obviously, you're captain. By the way, congratulations, captain, on Sutton's 3 highest ever league positions in history.
Thanks. I didn't know that. Thanks.
Is there any extra pressure which comes with being captain? Do you feel any extra pressure, or is it just part of being one of the senior players?
No, it's not. I wouldn't say pressure because we have big leaders in the change. Just because I have the armband, don't mean obviously everyone's just got to listen to me. Everyone's got to say to everyone in the club, squad, or group chat. If anyone's got anything to say, obviously, and after a loss or whatnot, just be a bit respectful and obviously ask if I can say something in the group for the whole group to learn. But yeah, everything like that is literally. Just because I have the armband, don't mean obviously it's pressure. It's just one thing just attached to me at the moment.
Um, no names at
Hmm.
all. When do you realise a player might not work out? I mean, just an example. We had a guy who played brilliantly against us in Sunday League. He
Hmm.
played brilliantly every match we played against him. He just tore us to pieces. He came and trained with us. He was absolutely amazing. And the minute the whistle went, he was dog.
Yeah.
When do you kind of think this guy isn't going to work out, or is it not nothing like that at all? It's just different players for different roles.
Yeah, it's just hard because some people, before they signed or before anyone's paid to someone, I might have played to them before. I might have been like, yeah, like boasting them up. But sometimes it's just not gel. Some things just don't gel. It's not a magnet. Some things just don't. It just don't connect, and sometimes it is horrible to see because obviously everyone expects things or you've seen clips, but then is that just the good clips or is it? Or it might be something else as well, because
Yeah,
you never know what the person is going through really, because he might be fine when you first see him, and then something might happen on his journey as well, and you can't say anything about that really. So it's hard.
no, and there's also all sorts of other things that go on. I mean,
Yep.
I'm amazed that um, Sam lives so far away from home,
Mhm.
and here he is cracking it on down in Sutton, and it's
Yep.
like
Yeah.
surely you must be missing your family. And Lee's obviously come to us because his family is from around this area. So people, we do forget, and quite a lot, we forget that you're humans and you've got other things going on in your life other than just kicking a ball around for us.
Yeah, we got everyone traveling from over the world.
Yeah. Right. So looking forward to the new season and wrapping it up very quickly.
Yep.
Do you have any personal targets for next season?
Personal targets: just win the league, minimum playoff, and win at Wembley. Nothing too big.
Nothing too big.
Nah,
Excellent.
nah, just first target. Yeah, just do well and yeah, obviously try and win the league, playoff, and go back to Wembley. Them three.
On player of the season again, yeah.
Yeah, four things then.
Yeah. So where does the team need to kind of focus on? I know we've got about 13 players at the moment, so
Yeah.
more bodies is the first thing. But where do we need to kind of focus? If you were involved in the scouting or the managing, would you be saying, right, we did struggle for goals last year, or did we struggle to make chances?
Well, I'll say we just need to stop conceding. So we will probably need some defence, some midfield, and some strike because we need goals everywhere. We need everyone to chip in goals, and we need everyone who's going to throw their neck on the line to say, right, there's no goals here. Even if you're not playing, you're ready to come on and do that kind of thing. Because sometimes strikers goes on droughts, but then you need a midfielder to score goals. Like personally myself, I need to score more goals if I'm in the box and whatnot. When you get the time, finish it. Centre halves when they come up for corners, set pieces, goals. And then we need three people to throw their body on the lines to block a shot, not just to turn away or from our box defend like your life's mean on it really, because like they're the clinical things in this league, set pieces. So we need to score and stop goals. And
Just double checking, it was Wenger you played at Arsenal under. It wasn't George Graham, because that's a
no,
typical
no,
1-0 to the Arsenal.
no.
And wrap it up. Last question: what are your plans for the off season?
Well, at the moment now, I'm still going to the gym every other day or two. Well, minimum. What is my program? I think it's 4 days a week. Still drop the kids to school. Then I've got time to myself, so I just go gym every morning, swimming as well sometimes. and yeah, just to make sure I can kick a ball again. Basically, around the corner. I've got to do that tomorrow. Just see if I can kick a ball and have a break, and then that's it really. And then can't wait to get back to. Well, I do not want to go back to pre-season. It's hard work, just saying. But at the end of the day, that's my job title. I got to work hard, and that's what I love doing. So yeah, I got to get my body back into shape after a little rest recovery. But I am over 30, so hopefully Gaffer gives me a little brace on the times on the stopwatch.
This is where you got to start getting involved in deep conversation about tactics, so you can
Yeah.
just go, yeah, I'll be there in a minute. I've just got a big conversation over here.
Oh, my
Sean.
shoelace undone. My shoelace undone.
Shoelace, yeah, the John Barden shoelace for 12 minutes when he wore slip-on shoes. That was brilliant. Just thought of a player you're probably going to miss on the pitch. You've got to miss Omar the most, because now the refs are going to be looking at you to give that yellow card to first thing.
Well, all the refs get confused. Me, Kizzy, and Omar, they always think we're all the same person. So then, obviously, I think I can't remember what game it was, and then I've tackled someone, so I've run away, and then the ref went up to Kizzy and gone, "You're 15, come here, 15, come here." And Kizzy gone, "I'm not 15, I'm not 22. What are you talking about?" And he's gone, "Where's 15?" So obviously, the refs and that always get on to, but now I just have to pass on to Kizzy.
Exactly, yeah, good stuff. Excellent. Thank you very much for your time. Thanks everyone for listening, and take care. We'll see you soon. Thank you.
Cheers. Bye bye.
United! United!